It's not your journey to take. It's not your journey to take. It's not your journey to take. Let's learn. Let's learn.
Hello, and welcome. Welcome. This is going to be a great evening. Remember, we are doing our series of, we're back with our midweek sipping chats. We have been gone for a little bit. I was out getting my master's and I was in my last 2 semesters, so I had to peel back because I had to prioritize me and prioritize what I had going on in order for me to be able to finish. So graduated in May, so successfully I'm done with my master's. So however, we are back with our midweek sip in chats. And we're talking about boundaries as we always do. And we have a special guest who has been joining us for our whole month of August. We have this series about boundaries. This week's topic is maintaining your healthy boundaries. So I am going to bring to the stage Miss April.
Hello.
Welcome, Miss April.
Hello.
So, Miss April, our topic today is talking about maintaining healthy boundaries. We have been going through boundaries, setting boundaries, figuring out when you need to set a boundary. And then we got to a point where we needed to talk about, at this point, maintaining healthy boundaries. So let's get into that and talk about that and what that means for the people about maintaining healthy boundaries.
Maintaining is once you figured out what areas you need to set boundaries in, you then set those boundaries and find out your line, and then how do you maintain and keep that line strong without having to fall back into old habits, reaching to put yourself in situations where you have old triggers, um, and just staying healthy inside your boundaries.
Okay, now that right there, let's focus on that. Stand healthy inside your boundaries. So before we go any further, we're gonna talk about our merchandise. Prioritize me, because that's what we do. That's what we do here. We teach you how to prioritize yourself. So when you say maintain it, we won't get into the situations yet because we're gonna give you a minute to kind of think about those. We won't do that to you like we did you last week. We're not gonna go into it. But if
Okay.
somebody is on here listening and they're thinking, wow, when it's time to set a boundary, I don't know where to go. I don't know who to talk to. Everybody that I need to set the boundary with, I can't tell them that I need to set a boundary because they're going to get mad, right? So for fear of making people angry with setting boundaries, fear of setting and implementing a boundary and hoping that all things go well, which they don't always do. If somebody is watching us and they're like, I don't know where to start, what would
Uh,
you say to a person like that?
Starting with yourself. I know we mentioned before internal boundaries. Start with yourself. Start with how are you? What is your peace? And then what lines you need to draw to protect that peace. And sometimes it's just a matter of you don't have to tell nobody you're setting the boundary. You could simply walk away.
Yes.
Walk away, separate from whatever that situation is. Um, they don't have to know, you don't have to give, separate. And that's what that boundary does. And that's what that boundary is. So, in order for you to be healthy, you to be happy, you to be at peace, remove yourself, find out what it is, and then remove yourself from that situation. Talk to yourself internally. Um, I know we said we are going to jump right into examples, but um, I know for a fact that I'm easily overstimulated.
Okay. When you
Um,
say that, what does that really mean?
it means when I have a lot of noise, lot of projects, lot of moving parts, whether it be work, whether it be extracurricular, whether it be family, a whole lot of moving parts um, overstimulates me to the point of I start feeling like this is too much, too many move, too many. I have to. I'm being pulled in too many different directions. I need a line. I need a structure. I need to set a course.
Okay.
So when there's too much going on in my environment, now don't get me wrong, I can handle the pressure of doing my job because that allows me, I know my job. I know where A, B, and C goes and da da da. I know how to rectify a issue and stuff like that. However, when dealing with that job, dealing with outside people, and then dealing with anything else that comes in, I then get feeling like, okay, well, I know the starting point over here, but I don't know these starting points. And then when there's three different starting points at one time, I'm like, okay, now I got to prioritize which one gonna stress me out less so I can start functioning.
Okay. So
So
when we talk about prioritizing what's going to stress you out less, right? And I'm just trying to go a little deep here. When you talk about that, how do you make that decision? Because we say we don't want to be stressed out. We say we don't want things to take a toll. We say we need to set healthy boundaries. And a key factor you made was you don't have to tell the person with whom you're setting the boundary that you are setting the boundary. You can just set the boundary and know that you're setting the boundary, which is super important.
mhm,
But when you are in that space of determining when it is necessary, because there are situations where we have heard people say, well, I just can't set the boundary. This is too much. My husband is this, or my friends are that. Like, I just can't set the boundary, right? And they truthfully they feel that way. And they feel like I can't set the boundary because I'm hurting. I can't set the boundary because I'm expected to show up all the time because I am the go to person. I can't set the boundary because they're going to be angry, mad, pissed off, or whatever at me if I don't show up. And as we talk to people and they're listening to us and they're like, well, I hear what they're saying, but how do I figure out one, I need a boundary, two, to set that boundary, and three, to maintain?
okay, so first off, I acknowledge that life is not completely stress free, which is why I said which one is going to stress me out the least. Accept that part of life and humanity. There is going to be stress. However, I decide, me personally, in my head, decide which one I'm going to allow to stress me. Because as all of those things that you noted were outside forces.
Yes.
So let me think and analyze what inside forces that I can do to repel those outside forces.
Mm. So when
And
you say repel, that's down. That might be a 5 letter word, but when you say repel, or is it 6 letters? Is it two L's or one? Repell, repel. Okay, so
I'm, I'm sorry, my bad. My bad.
right.
When I say
You weren't even ready
repel,
for that. I know. I know.
I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready. No, when I say repel, I just mean where am I going to push back? Where am I going to say, okay, this is my limit and start to set those boundaries? What am I going to allow past the doorstep? Or which one am I going to say, you got to stay out here for now? and give up my mental space, my emotional space, my physical energy to what stress am I going to allow to that I want to work on, and which ones am I saying, you know what, I'm giving it to God because that ain't my job.
See, I like that part. And we have to know when to let go. We have to know when to walk away. We have to know when it's okay to say, it's okay.
But it comes with time, and it comes with learning yourself and learning what you can endure and what you can endure, and just step by step, minute by minute, day by day, you decide, okay, well, I can take this, but I can't take this anymore. I have to stop this. I can take this, but that one got to go. Knowing and understanding yourself. So it's a lot of self reflection versus, oh, let me look at all these people and say, oh, yeah, I just can't deal with her. Okay, well, pick and choose who you can. Understand yourself, understand the energy that you have and the space that you take up in your own mind.
Right.
And then once you understand that, you can then identify what areas you're going to start drawing your line. And then when you draw that line, how you uphold that line. Because at work, you may say, you know what? I can't take on XYZ projects. I can only take on X. But once you get a hold of X and you set that boundary and you don't let Y and Z in here anymore, and you just dealing with X because that's your job, that's what you can understand, that's what you can grasp, you're not feeling overwhelmed, then you say, okay, well, I might put Y in here, but my limit is Y, X and Y now. I can't do this because taking on X, Y, and Z takes too much on me. I can't deal with it. So your boundary is X. But once you grasp it, once you have a hold, once you're still at peace, you can then decide, okay, well, I'm gonna let Y here. But if Y gets too overwhelming, I know my boundary is X. And that's what I say when I say I feel overstimulated. I know that I can go to an event. I know that I can be in the crowd, but I know that too much loud noise, too much movement, too long, I have to separate myself because that's my limit.
Okay. So if someone, so say hypothetical, you're out, you have sisters. So say you're out with one of your sisters and they like the rah-rah and all the stuff. And you're more laid back, you're less likely to be at an event that's going to cause you anxiety. But being the big sister or the little sister, because you're right, you're the second one, and then you got two up under you, well, three siblings up under you.
Technically, on my mama's side, I have two above, two girls and a boy above, and two girls and a boy below. I'm directly in the middle.
Wow.
So
Let's
yeah,
start there.
7 of us, and I'm directly in the middle.
Wow. So that puts you, oh my gosh. So that puts you in such an awkward situation where you're supporting both, right? Your older sisters are like, or brother will be like, let's go, I don't know, to an Isley Brothers concert or to Frankie Beverly and Maze. And Frankie Beverly can get overstimulating as much as we love him. But when he starts saying, before I let go, the whole crowd is getting in, right? And that can be overstimulating. And then you have 4 up under, 5 up under you, right? 1, 2,
No,
3.
2, 2, 3, 3. 3 above, 3 below.
I thought on your mom's side you got 3 up under you.
On my dad's side. I'm sorry, not my mom's side. On my dad's side, well, my mom and my dad got 5 together, so they all the same. But then my dad had 2 before us. So it's 3 above, 3 below, 7 total.
Okay. And so the younger ones is like, let's go to this Lil Wayne concert, right? And to participate in those, I'm saying hypothetical, but to participate in those, Frankie Beverly is laid back, it's good music. It can get, busy because that's what we do at the Frankie Beverly concert. But it's not busy bad. Lil Wayne can get out of hand. And so to say to your sisters, I just think it's going to be a whole lot. Would you more likely go with the older sister that's saying, hey, let's go to Frankie Beverly, or the younger ones that's saying, hey, let's go see some Lil Wayne?
It's a hard toss-up. Because
you like Lil Wayne?
No, because my rah-rah sister, that's just she gonna do anything. She down for all of the its and giggles, okay? She will more likely go to the Lil Wayne. And my younger sister, who's more laid back, is more likely to go to the Frankie Beverly. So,
oh wow, so it's just the opposite for you.
So it's the opposite. So to go to a Frankie Beverly with my older sister, she be like, "Girl, I'm bored. I need something to do. Where is the turn up?" And my younger sister is gonna be on some. I can't be here. It's too much. I'm tired. So I fall right in the middle of that spectrum where, listen, I'm gonna turn up. I'm gonna do the Lil Wayne thing, and I'm gonna do that because I know that's the starting point and ending point. And if I really feel like I'm overstimulated, maybe I'm going to sit down. I'm going to sit down. I'm going to grab my phone and my headset at the concert. I'm not beyond it.
Wait a minute. You said get your headset.
Listen, I knew who I was at a very young age. Baby, when I was in college, all the way at Virginia Tech, baby, I went to a party. You know what? This a lot. Let me call my mama. Girl, what you doing? Because I'm at a party, girl. Just because I needed to separate myself. It's a lot. So, I do not hesitate. I'm going for the turn up because I'm gonna turn up for a good little minute. But then I need me some little
wind down
time. But then on the same token, I can't stay in a low area forever because I need a little energy. What else I'm out here for? Because I could have been on my couch if this is too monotone.
Right.
So
okay.
I need to find a balance.
That's not what I expected, but that was good.
But I know this about myself. So when I go, I prepare for those situations, which is why I don't go nowhere without my phone, without my tablet, without my headsets, because I need to go back to my safety, my safety net.
So listen, you just said you made a great example. You said in college. I mean, in college, you just off the cusp of being a teenager, going to college. So in college, you knew then how to set a boundary and create separation.
But I knew who I was because I knew what I was not going to do. Listen, I'm going to be here. I support their college life. Baby, I'm tired. I'm going over here in this corner for a second. I need to get my life back together.
Oh, wow.
Because don't get me wrong, baby. I am with all the turn-ups. Like, don't get me wrong. I am not the quiet, meek, and mild one, baby. I'm here for a good time. I'm going to turn up. I'm going to do all the things. And then I'm going somewhere to sit down because I got to get my life back together.
Okay.
Because I just used up all my battery life. Maybe we got to recharge. Even if that means recharging at the situation. I got to recharge because if not, it ain't gonna be cute. Because I can go from 0 to y'all, she about to get locked up real fast.
Oh
no. And I know that about myself. And my family know, like, yeah, y'all might catch April in the corner, but don't let her come out because she's gonna come out swinging. She's gonna say some things. It's gonna hurt some feelings. So it's gonna make some cuts. Then she gonna go on back somewhere else, and y'all ain't gonna see her for a couple months.
So when you have a feeling like that, so first of all, let me just tip my head off to you of at such a young age understanding yourself, understanding when something was too much, and knowing how to not forcibly make yourself be in the midst of, and knowing how to pull away.
Well, that comes
It's
from
something-
my middle child perspective because when I was younger, I would hold it all in. I would take
Mm.
it and hold it all in and all of that. And then I explode.
Oh, that's not
And
healthy.
when I explode, like it was nothing cute. I'm talking real bad. Like, you hear about the sibling fights and stuff like that. When I tell you, I started fighting my sister like we was in the streets, baby. I'm talking
Fighting your
something real
sister?
vicious. Listen, because I let everything go. I let everything go. I let everything go because I didn't have a boundary of saying, no, let me exclude this. No, let me exclude that. I just took everything in and took everything in. And then maybe one magazine that tipped me over to fighting my sister in the middle of the kitchen with a broomstick. Like just,
What? What was that? I gotta know. I gotta know. What was the magazine?
um, because my mom would get these magazine orders and stuff like that. And my sister, I believe she read the magazine, but they all try to blame it on me. I'm not, cut it, cut it. I'm not about to take this. And girl, we got to fight in the kitchen. I'm talking, I got her choked up on the counter against the cabinets. My other sister handed her a broom to crack me across my back. I knocked you over to the washer and dryer. Girl, it was something vicious. It just was not pleasant. But
Oh my
I just
goodness.
got sick of it. You're not gonna keep lying on me. You're not y'all not gonna set me up for the failure. But that's because I didn't know how to regulate
Yeah.
and stop. At that point, she just ended up catching the wrath of everything, just life had handed to me, any little piece of anger that I might have ever had. And
Wow.
that's when you gotta understand, like, you can't just keep on taking all that in, because at some point you keep filling up your cup with bad stuff, that cup gonna start leaking.
Yes. 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 And that's what we talk about, the cup running over, right? Because if it's running over, like that's not gonna work well. It doesn't work well when that cup is running over.
So I started, understanding myself um way back then, and just how easily that I can get overstimulated with a lot of outside sources and all that stuff. So I I like to be with the crowd, but I'm not good at being a part of the crowd.
Ooh. So being with the crowd but not being part of the crowd.
Yeah.
That's an interesting separation.
Just okay. So take this weekend.
Okay.
This weekend. I was with a ton of family. Yard house full. I am there with the crowd. I'm there with my family. I see them, they see me. They can come over and talk. I could go over there and talk. But it was not hard to find me in the corner on the couch
Mm.
because doing that, like I went out there for like the relay or so, but it took too long. It took too much energy. I had to then separate myself. But I went back out once I recharged and
Yeah.
watched the relay. I'm with them, but I'm not part of them.
I like that. And I think if like people who are watching our live and watching the replay can understand what it is that you're saying and be able to make that a part of their life. Like you don't have to be a part of all the things all the time, but you can be a part of those things and not, be a part of those things, right?
Mhm.
I'm around, I'm with them, we're doing all the things, but guess what? I'm not a part of it,
Yeah,
right?
and that's the boundary and limit I set within myself. Other words, it would have been easy for me to, because I know myself, get frustrated with the length and time and the heat and everything,
Yeah.
and say, you know what, this too much. Y'all take too long. Mm-mm. April, you feel it? I feel it. Let's go sit down.
I love it. I love it. And I hope that the folks that are listening to this live and the replay hear you and allow it to resonate with them. Because I meet so many people who want to set boundaries, who want to be able to, live life and enjoy life. But at the same time, they get so frustrated and so angry about life because they allow themselves to get so caught up. And instead of setting the boundary without having to tell the person, hey, I'm setting a boundary with you, instead of telling them that, just set the boundary and just
Right.
take care of you.
Nobody know that that's my boundary. Nobody know that that's my limit.
Well, they're going to know now when they watch this live. They're going to be like, oh, that's what April be doing.
Yeah.
Right. So then they're going to really be in your space.
I don't make it a this is my limit with you and y'all, and I'm over here, y'all. I'm secluding myself and y'all can't talk to me because I'm this is my boundary. No, I'm going over here. I'm with y'all. I see y'all, but it's a lot going on over there. And it takes a lot of my energy that I don't have right now. So,
okay. And so to maintain that, because I'm sure you have folks in your life that respect it to some degree, and some that feel like their situation should supersede your boundary. When you,
definitely.
Your face is telling a story.
It's I have what is called Talk to Daddy Tuesdays, where if nothing else, I talk to my daddy every Tuesday. I need to know what's going on, and we regroup every Tuesday. So
I love that.
I don't have a day that I specifically call anybody else besides my daddy, and that's Talk to Daddy Tuesdays. And so every Tuesday, I get on that phone and say, "Dad, she don't respect our boundaries." That is literally one of the constant conversations I have with my dad. Dad, she don't never respect my boundaries. I tell her this, and she don't care. She said, F your boundaries.
Oh my
And then
goodness.
proceeds to tell me ways that she will work around my boundaries.
Really?
Yes. But it's not in a disrespectful manner. Like I joke that, but it's not in a disrespectful manner. So, it's not, the boundary that I talk about with her is not a real hard laid out boundary. It's just like, girl, I got a job. You can't call me while I'm
Right.
at work. And so she just tell me she gonna call me on the work phone, and then I can talk because it's work call then.
Oh my gosh, are you serious?
Yeah. So, but she doesn't. It's just she just tells me these things that she would do and could do to work around the boundary that I set for her.
So with your sister doing that, and I'm guessing since we're talking and laughing about it, it doesn't bother you and you don't mind.
No, because again, it's not a hard laid boundary. It's not like a real boundary. But sometimes when I do need to enforce it,
Mhm.
it's respected.
Mm.
But for her, I let her know, like, this is a boundary that I might need to enforce. And then when I enforce it, she understands. She doesn't actually work around it, but it's something that has been discussed and put in place with her. That's one of those times where you got to tell somebody that this is the boundary.
Okay.
And then when I need to enforce it, listen, I can't talk at work. I really got to go. Oh, okay. Call me when you get off. It's later.
Okay. Okay, so there is okay. It sounds like there's
And that's how I
understanding.
maintain with her, like just I communicate like, okay, girl, I know you call me 3, 4, 5 times now. You know I got a job. I don't just I don't just stand around for a living.
Right.
But the fact that I'm picking up the phone and I'm talking to her, telling her this, that's when she laughs and says, "F your boundary, talk to me." And I continue talking because at that time I'm not really doing anything and I have the flexibility to talk. But when she calls and I say, "Hey, I'm at work, can't talk." Okay, call me when you get off.
Okay.
But that's because we've discussed, listen, I got a job and I'm not gonna always be available during this work time. So you gotta understand that. And she does.
I
But on
love
those days, she done called me 50, 11 times, and I talked to her 3, 4, 5 times. That's when I said, my dad, "Dad, she respect my boundaries. She think she can just keep calling me," you know. But it's not, and we laugh about it because she technically does respect it in the sense that as long as I'm talking to her and I'm telling her it's fine, but
yeah.
when I need to enforce it, and I think that those people who want to, who who can't just set a boundary without discussing, need
Mhm.
to learn to communicate.
Yes. Yes. I agree with you there. But I believe that they do need to learn how to communicate, but they also need to, you said this last, I think it was last week, um, setting a boundary with yourself.
Right.
And if they learn how to set the boundaries with themselves, it'll make it easier when it rolls over to set the boundaries with others because
Right.
you would know how to set the boundaries with yourself to protect yourself. And it just seems as if though people don't know how to set the boundaries with themselves. They don't know how to set the boundaries for themselves, and they don't know when to set it, how to set it, and God knows they don't know how to maintain it.
What Whatever is your peace, find your peace. Find your happy place. Find your safe space,
Yeah,
and then work out.
I
Um,
agree.
Encompass, surround yourself. Only allow what in for in what brings you peace until you can learn to accept other things.
Yes,
Um, but that's a self reflection, and that is when I say not showing up for others is showing up for yourself.
absolutely, absolutely.
Because you need the space, you need the time, you need the reflection, you need the focus on yourself. And you can't bring somebody else in until you've understood yourself.
Nope.
So show up for yourself before you try to show up for the others. And that will allow you to determine how much you can show, how much you have left over to show up for others. And then you can bring them in. But right until you understand yourself and your limits and your what you can take on, you can't set a boundary because you don't know where your cup ends, starts and begins. So figure out what your cup can hold
Hmm.
after you've given all of your after you put yourself in it.
I love
And
that,
that's all that you can let in. If your
and
cup
that's
is
what they
three
need to
quarters
learn how
full
to
with
stop that.
yourself, then all you can let in is a quarter of a thing. And that's it.
Yep, and that's where I think people miss the mark when you realize this is all I got. This is all I got. This is all I can give. And like you said, don't let any more in there. And I think so many people miss that mark that when they get to that point and everything is good and I can't take any more, but I'm in a good space in a good place, that somebody else come, hey, I need this. Can you this? I mean, I know you say you sleep, but can you, and now they're negotiating your boundaries. And instead of just saying, no, stop, I can't, I won't, I'm not going to, they just be like, all right, I'm going to do it this time. But this time will lead into multiple times and also lead into them not respecting your boundaries if you haven't had those conversations. Because every time they come running and come a knocking, you're opening up the door and doing whatever they need. And when you are setting, implementing, and maintaining a boundary, you got to know, like you say, find your safe space. Find what makes you content. Find what makes you happy. Find what brings you peace, whatever that is. I've met some people where sitting in the bathroom bring them peace. You know, they got children in the house. House is always busy. So sitting in the bathroom brings them peace because that's the only place that they feel like they can go and not be bothered. I'm like, okay. You got some people, such as myself, the beach brings me peace. It doesn't matter the weather, summer, spring, winter, or fall. Get a room at a beach and have the door open. And if it's cold, have the heat on. If it's hot, have the AC on. But listening to those waves definitely brings calm and peace over me. Some people like to go out and party and hang out, which whatever works for you is what works for you. But find that thing. Uh-oh.
It's so funny because I be telling myself, girl, something ain't right with you. Because my peace be stressing me out.
Your
But
peace?
like, baby, when I tell you I am so into these Asian dramas, K drama, C drama, J drama, T dramas. But because I'm so into it, I get so invested in the characters. And when I tell you I be yelling at that screen, baby, I be having to stop and pause and regroup. Like, girl, they can't hear you. But I absolutely, that is my happy place. And this is why I don't go anywhere without my phone and my tablet, because when I got like 5 different streaming services, so I can make sure that I watch my Asian dramas. Baby, I'm talking about in it. Do you hear me? But it's my happy place. It's where I love to be. It brings me calm, even when I'm yelling at them, even when I had to stop and pause the same show 50, 11 times. I'm happy about it. That's the stress that I can accept. That's the stress that I can deal with. That's what fills my cup. And I'd be like, I could tune out the entire universe if I got my dramas.
So, okay. So let me ask you this. Because I get asked this question a lot. How do you know that that is your happy space or place? Or how did you know that was going to be your happy space or place? Like, what did you do to find that? Or how did it fall in your lap? And you're like, I like this.
Um, I bounced around. So I like bingo. I like bingo. I like casino and stuff like that. And when I tell you my self control indicator be broken when I like something. So I just jump deep in it, just be ODing. And that's why I can't do drugs, because I be the OD, because I don't have no self control. It's either all or nothing. Just all or
Oh
nothing
my gosh.
on things that I like on a hobby and stuff like that. So
Mhm.
I was deep in bingo and casino and stuff like that. And I said, you know what, April, you need to relax, because this ain't cute. This ain't cute. And I can tell myself that, and I can understand my limits and stuff like that. But this is a lot of self-reflection all the time. And
Okay.
so I started on Netflix, and they had like this Indian show. And I was like, oh, what is this? And they had like 3 different, like, they meet them, and then another one, it was like the wedding for them, and then another one was like the baby. I was like, oh, this is good. So I stopped. I didn't watch um no more international shows. But then on the Netflix, it came up with another international thing. I say, well, that one was good. So let me see if, something else might be good. And that was an Indian show. I watched um, a Korean show, and my eyes went, I think everybody should watch this. Do they have more of these? Where did this come from? What is going on? And I'm like, okay, let me try another one. Oh my God, this is great too. I'm talking, and with their shows, it's like series. Each series be having like 12, 16 episodes, and they're hour long. I said, oh, this is time. This is an investment. I'm invested. How do I stick to this? And so I went through all of the ones on Netflix that was English dub because I was like, okay, I'm not reading subtitles. I ran through those and I was like, I want more. How do I get more?
Oh my
So,
God.
so I started going to the ones that had subtitles. I was like, I just got to read. I'm glued to it because I need to see. And they just kept getting better and better. And it was like a whole new world because it was like, this is Korean. And then I went to another website. I said, they got Chinese ones? Oh, what they talk about? They got Japanese ones. And then and it's like a rabbit hole once you start. You go to K dramas, C dramas, J dramas, T dramas, BLs. You get into K-pop. When I tell you I'm BTS to the core now, like
Are you?
listen, I have never bought any other um artist stuff. Like I used to say, oh, I'm in the Beehive. I ain't never bought Beyonce merchandise. Baby, when I tell you I got me a little corner for BTS stuff over here, listen, I'm subscribed to the website. I'm jumping on the lives and everything. But I've never felt this thrill with any other, you know, thing that I've got invested in. Like,
Wow.
so one thing just kind of soured it to, oh, look, you see this, and then you get on the TikTok, and then you get on the Instagram, and you get on the X, and you have this whole new world, and it's like, where has this been? Why didn't nobody tell me about this? And so now I'm just in it, and I don't think I've watched an American Western show in almost a year now.
Really?
Mm-mm. I mean, don't nothing in me, not a little bit in me, want to watch it.
So this whole K-pop Korean TV show series got you hooked.
It did because it's so different from what I was used to seeing, and it was like a whole new world. Like, okay, well, this is different. This is new, and I like learning about different cultures. So
Mm.
it gave me a whole new world to learn and understand and want to be part of, and that made me happy.
Okay.
Um, versus we can America is so big that it's easy to just only be focused on what's in America.
Yes.
So what's going on, what's presented and stuff like that. But there is a whole world outside of America that has a whole bunch of different cultures and stuff like that. And learning them and seeing them and understanding them made me really happy, really excited. Um, Made me really want to do things and go places and stuff like that. So that became my happy place. Um, and to add to that, I love cruising. I
Mhm.
took my tablet and my phone and stuff with me on a cruise, and I sat on that boat on the water watching my shows. It was the most peaceful, relaxing time of my life.
Wow. Now, on a cruise ship, you hear people always talking about the parties, the drinking, the food, the intermingling with the people, the
And I
dancing,
did all of
the
that.
shows. Oh, okay. In addition to your shows.
Yeah, because I can't do all of that without having some decompression.
True. 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 Wow.
So so I did all of that. I was at the nightclub, at the I did the bar crawl, I do the karaoke, I did all of that. But I also separate myself and say, okay, April, you can get you can catch me sitting in a chair by the Alchemy Bar. I got my drink, I got my shows, and I watch people pass for a while. Okay, now I didn't got back centered. Let's go.
Okay. So when you encounter someone and they say, I know you watch the TV dramas and they get you to a happy place and it make you feel it makes you feel good to watch it. Like it's a feel good thing, even if the movie itself is not feel good. It's just watching the whole drama, unfold. And you run into a person that says, Miss April, I know the K drama is good and it puts you to your happy place, but how do you know that that's your happy place? How can you define that to them? Because once we set a goal, set a boundary, implement a boundary, and then we want to maintain the boundary. We got to identify what works. After you identify, I need to set one. Once I identify that, and then I have to set it, I got to figure out what works for me, what gets me to a happy place, what allows me to just relax and just not be bothered with the nonsense by setting and implementing and maintaining my boundary. If someone says to you, Miss April, I know you got the K-pop and the K-dramas going on, but how do you allow that to supersede the dramas that's happening in your life, where one, you've identified that that's a happy place for you, and that how do you put yourself in a situation and say, hey, I need to check out my happy place, because if I don't, I'm going to explode, right?
I make the decision. Nobody else can make the decision for me. I decide. When I feel like everything outside of me is too much, what is it that I can do for myself
Mm-hmm.
to find peace?
Mm-hmm.
And that's exiting the drama, exiting the work, exiting the frustration, and entertaining myself. I can then, once I finish my show, I can then come back with a fresh start, with a clear mind, because I done got a little peace, I done got a little sanctuary, and now once I click off my show or click off my music or whatever, I can step back out with a clear mind without all of the frustration, all of the stuff that was there before. Now
Okay.
it's still there, but I'm better equipped mentally to deal with it.
Would you consider that compartmentalizing?
Um, I'm not gonna say it's technically compartmentalizing just because I can I can do that while doing other things.
Okay.
Because I have my shows playing while I'm at work. And that way it keeps me grounded, but I can still work, I can still function, and that keeps me from exploding. So I can do and have the peace while I'm working, but that took time.
Okay.
So that's why I say it's not, for me, it's not technically compartmentalizing, because I can, that keeps me mellow and not sending that email that say, oh, you dumb.
Listen, you ain't cracking a smile, but that was funny. That was
That's how listen. Because I got like 3 screens, and it's like 2 work streams in my show, and I'd be like, you know what they talk about? Because her over there gonna, gonna catch a real bad email.
okay. Okay.
It's ooh, maybe
Yeah.
these dramas that saved a lot of people.
Okay. And see, and I think that's that balance and the boundaries that a lot of people are looking for. And the question is, how do I find that boundary? How do I balance that boundary? How do I implement that boundary?
Trying, it came from me trying new things, seeing new things. Um, but again, I don't like being around a lot of people and all of that kind of stuff. I like seeing and I like being part of it, but I don't go out much to be with the people.
Okay.
And so I would have never known, but then I found it on TV. So people, if you separate yourself from all of the foolishness and the drama and the stuff, because it's gonna be there. It's gonna be
Yes.
there when you finish. It's gonna be there when you get back to it or whatever. And try different things until you find what it is that's gonna bring you that peace. And
Hmm.
then you stay there and then get your peace and then determine what you're going to allow in and work on.
Right. Okay. And so I'll say for me, when it comes to my boundaries, it all depends on the person. Like I don't have the same boundary with everybody. I don't with someone at work wouldn't be the same boundary I set with a family member. A family member boundary is not the same boundary that I would set with a friend. A friend boundary that I set wouldn't be the same as I set with someone that I'm dating. The boundaries will vary, but they all at the end of the day is to protect my peace. That's the goal. It's to protect my peace. And so I don't be uncomfortable or unhappy. And listen, life isn't perfect. Life is always full of obstacles. And I think that's where we learn. And I think that's also where you learn how to identify I need a boundary in this area. I think life experiences help you to determine, let me figure out how I want to set this boundary. And then life experiences, the more they continue to do you like this, the more you say, let me maintain this boundary and I can't be bothered with you right now. Or I can't deal with that right now. Or I refuse to compromise my peace, my quietness, my enjoying my life, enjoying the ocean, which I love, right? Um, you just can't have people in your life that takes away from that. And it's not healthy. You're not going to stop those people from coming. You're not going to stop those people from showing up in your life. You will not. They will always be there. They will always show up. They will always ask things of you because that's what happens. That's just a part of life. It's about how you respond. It's how you communicate. It's how you show up for you that helps you to be able to set those boundaries.
Right.
So for me, if it's like prime example in the workplace where I am now, when you walk into I'm in IT, so when you walk into our area, you have to come through a door with a code. Then once you come to our area, it's a bunch of large cubicles that's real tall. But then there's also this space and a back room where they have 3 offices set up. So it's like a community space, right?
Mhm.
And I say, I'm so glad I don't have to be in that community space. And so one of the ladies that's in that community space sent me an email just last week asking, hey, Keisha, did you want to switch places? Listen, before I could get my thought finished, I was like, no, period. And I was like, ooh, pause, right? Because yes, I do need a boundary. Yes, I need to implement that boundary. And yes, I need to maintain that boundary. However, my delivery didn't have to be as aggressive as it was coming out, because it came out. No. Like
Exclamation point, capital letters, baby. Yeah,
all
please
that.
understand. Don't
So
even try it. It's just not happening.
and then and where I sit, you have to intentionally come into my space. Like you can walk past my space like all day and never even come to where I am. You have to intentionally come to my space. And I love that. So when the coworker asked, I was like, she must be talking to the wrong person.
Sure
That
enough.
was my first thought. And I said, well, let me respond. No, period. And I said, let me not send this. Let's it's work. Let's respond as if it's work. So I was like, no, period. I really like my area, period. Thank you. Send. What else was I going to do? Right? Because the person that asked also happened to be my manager.
Yeah, I'm glad you kind of smooth that right on over.
Yes, yes. And so, and she never verbally said anything. And when, so it's, most of these companies are so top heavy. So it's, the manager, or maybe, let me see, the supervisor, then the manager. So it was my supervisor that said it. And she copied our manager in the email. And I was like, why are we doing that? I was like, reply to all, no. And let me let me fix this no, because I was going no, send. And I said, let me fix this no, because she may not have known how I felt and that I like my space, because you can't just come in my space. Again, you have to be so intentional to come to where I am. And I can hear you before you get there. And I can see you before you get like in my space. Like before you really get in my space, I can see you. I have the perfect seat. You think I'm giving that up? And to be in a community space with people? No. I work great with people, but I work better alone. Right? I can do it. I do. I work great with people. I'm a team player, all the things, but I absolutely work better alone. I can get more done. I can be more focused. So I can absolutely get more done alone. Depending, I mean, I'm in IT. So being in IT, you don't really. It's not a lot of teamwork, if you will. You can do a lot of things as a team, but it's everybody has an individual contribution. Right. It's not a team where we're doing all the things all together. It's not like that. It's, tech and ops, IT, individual contribution. So what I do might impact you, then you do something that impacts the next person, then they do something that impacts, and then we get the whole job done, and everybody has had their individual contribution. So, which I love. That's one of the reasons why I love tech and ops. Like I can be creative. I can, do my thing, and I can enjoy it, but I can also work with a team or alone. So I get that flexibility. So having the space that I have, I'm grateful for it, because I am in a space by myself. I'm not in a community space. And if I want to be out there with the people, I can walk out there, right? But when I'm done, I can come right back into my space.
And that space acts as your physical boundary from everything else.
Yes. And I absolutely love it.
And you saying no, letting her know that you like your space, was you maintaining that boundary?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's where we talk about setting boundaries and not being harsh, mean, or hateful. Because when we set boundaries, the recipient of the boundaries has a problem with it, because it's not in their favor, right? So they have a problem. Yes. And so you're like, well, wait a minute, I didn't want to. Like, why is it an issue? Why is it a problem? I didn't want to. We should be good. But the recipient doesn't see it that way. The recipient actually see it where you've told me no. You saying you can't show up for me. Like the recipient of that has a problem. You don't have a problem because you haven't done anything wrong. You know that you don't want to be bothered, or you have something else going on, or you just don't want to do it. You don't have to have anything going on to tell a person no.
Facts.
But people feel like I'm obligated to explain to you my no. And I tell my clients, no is a complete sentence. Sometimes you got to ask, well, don't you understand the end of the O? Because no is a complete sentence. I don't have to explain any of that to you. I don't have to sit here and solidify my no to you because you feel like I should be providing an explanation for you. That's a you thing, not a us or a me thing. That's a you thing. So if I tell you no, respect me and my no. And that's a two-way street. Because just like I want you to respect my no, I got to respect yours too. And you got to be okay with it. And you also run into a lot of people who have these one-way streets where I can tell you no, I can say all the things, but I dare not tell, you can tell me no, but I dare not tell you no, because, oh my gosh, that the world is coming to an end. You done told me no. It don't work like that. If you can tell me no, I can tell you no. And we should respect each other's and our no's. So I'm going to pause on that note because your facial expression tells me something. Talk to us, Miss April.
I hear this so much with my husband.
So you tell him no, but he can't tell you no.
Very much so.
Now,
very much so.
Why do you set up a boundary like that?
Because you need to do what I say.
Miss April. Miss April. That is not kind.
Listen, when I tell you I know that man be sick of me. Sick of me.
So with your husband, y'all just got a one-way street and it's just Miss April Street.
Cause why not? Logic work outside the house.
Oh, okay. Not inside the house with your husband.
Yeah, it's April logic here. Just do what I say now.
Do as I say, not as I do.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I know he do be sick of you. I know he's like, listen, we got to share. We got to share in this.
Every day that man say.
So how do you feel when he sets a boundary with you? Or he doesn't?
Baby, I'm distraught. Life is hard. And now I got to throw a tantrum and shut down this house because you didn't give me what I want.
And then he turn around and give you what you want. Just so he can have a peaceful house.
Make life simple. Just say yes.
But you don't just tell him yes.
No, because I be tired. Or I be bored. Listen. You just do what I say.
Wow.
I get to say no. That's not your word.
You can say no, but he can't.
Yeah.
And you okay with that? No. We already know you are. Is he okay with that?
He's still here.
That don't mean he okay with it.
I don't got no say. His word is yes. So is he okay with it? Yes. No, I'm joking. It's not. It's not really like that for real. But we do go through it though. We do because what's your reason for telling me no? Like, no can't be a complete sentence here. Tell me the reason. What's the logic? What's the reason?
See, that's
now,
not.
if it's something serious, then.
Okay, so with Miss April, the no and the complete sentence and the boundaries, all of that work outside her home, but not in her home. Because in her home is April's way or the highway. But hold on. As y'all are watching this and we're talking about this, we're going to ask April this one question, and then y'all just be like, oh, okay, Miss April, I guess so. Miss April, how many years you been married?
17.
So it works.
Clearly. It's a good situation.
Absolutely. So, I mean, I just think with boundaries, more people need to learn how to set them. I think Well, not I think. I know when you don't set boundaries, you allow life to be lifing, and you can't find a balance. It creates frustration, it creates anger. You begin to snap at people for no apparent reason because they're not the problem. They haven't done anything to you really. They may have just asked you a question or asked something of you, but you can absolutely say no as well. But I think when you don't find that balance, you don't find your peaceful place, your safe space. When you don't find that, I think it creates a problem for you. And excuse me, that creates that frustration where you take it out on people. And people are like, she not happy today. What's wrong with her? And there's no cause for them to be a recipient of that. But when you're not happy and you haven't found that safe space, that happy place, or any of that, you tend to be so unkind to other people. And that's just not fair. Do you see that, Miss April?
Yeah, if you don't have peace, anywhere to find your peace or any peace, then all you know is the stress, the drama, the turmoil of life. And you just take on all of that. You just keep on taking in all of that negative, all of that drama, all of that stuff until that's what your cup is full of. And you just going to, that's what you're going to give out because that's all you got. That's all you got to give is stress, drama, turmoil, because you haven't limited that what you're taking in.
That's right. And that goes back to the example I love to give before we sign off is when you are on an airplane, the I'm going to call her a stewardess.
They used to call stewardess.
Yes. Now we're telling age. They're like stewardess. People watch this and be like, who is a stewardess? The flight attendant. When they when they tell you if the cabin loses air pressure and the mask falls down, secure your mask first. And then once you secure your mask first, you can help the others. You can help other people, but you can't help a lot. You can help the person in front of you. You can try to help the person behind you because remember that string is not that long. You can help the person to the left and to the right of you, right? And that's it. You can't help the person 2 seats up, 2 seats over either way, or 2 seats back. You can't do it. So when the flight attendant says, secure your mask first, because you need to make sure that you're getting oxygen. You need to make sure that you're taking care of yourself first. You need to make sure that you're okay, and then you can help others. Because what happens is, because you're always the go-to person, you're the person showing up for everybody else. Now you having everybody else get their mask on. They're so self-consumed with taking care of themselves, they don't even see the fact that your mask is not on, right? And then what ends up happening is if you don't get your mask on, you're going to die. Oxygen, we need oxygen. We consistently need oxygen. And if you can't take care of yourself first, how can you take care of anybody else? If your cup is empty, you have no overflow. But if you continue to fill your cup and fill yourself and making sure that you're good, you will always be in the overflow. Even if it's not a lot of overflow, it'll be some overflow to be able to give to others, which is what we want to do, which is how we pay it forward, right? If I do a little bit, then maybe I'm paying it forward to April. April do a little bit. She pay it forward to, one of her 5 sisters. And then maybe one of her 5 sisters do a little bit. They'll pay it forward to some of their friends. Their friends will pay it to their family members. And it'll be like an ongoing impact and effect. And I think that's a great thing. And I think that would be awesome if we could show up that way, especially in this administration and in this climate. If we can show up that way where we're taking care of ourselves, teaching others to take care of themselves, and then you can give where you can, and then we pay it forward where the next person can give where they can. Instead of just losing it and not doing nothing and not helping anybody in any way and just being so selfish and self-consumed. We don't want to do that. And I believe in identifying, setting, implementing, and maintaining your boundaries because we all need that. We
Yeah.
all need that. And Miss April, please tell the people where they can find you on all the social medias.
I am April Everett at all my social medias. um, April Everett on Facebook. I'm actually learning me on Instagram. But it's still, you can still type in April Everett and it'll still come up. Um, TikTok, you can search April Everett, I'll still come up. My name there is Pink Heart April, Pink Heart. um, X,
About
April
LinkedIn.
Everett. LinkedIn, April Everett.
Okay. Because we're streaming on LinkedIn tonight. We're on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn tonight.
Yeah. You could always find me at April Everett.
Okay. And for me, I am at Not Your Journey to Take and Keisha Mason Campbell on all the social medias. You can type in either one and it'll bring you to my Facebook, my LinkedIn, Fanbase. Fanbase. I don't know if anybody is interested, but you should be interested in Fanbase. I really like Fanbase. Fanbase is an app that's been out for quite some time. Isaac Hayes III owns it, but the platform is really, really good. And so Fanbase, where we at? Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, Fanbase, TikTok. And I'm Auntie Key, Not Your Journey to Take, but my screen name is Auntie, AunTikee, Auntie Key on TikTok. But everything else, Keisha Mason Campbell at Not Your Journey to Take. Either one of those, you can find me on all the social medias. If you are, let's see. I wanted to show everybody we have what we call a safe space, and we talk about the programs that we participate in and that we host. So I wanted to show you that. Share screen. Oh, here we go. I was like, why is it not working? Okay. Can you see it? Mm-hmm. No? You can? Okay. Okay, cool. It's popping up on all the other pages. So what we talk about is I'm teaching you how to prioritize yourself, right? And this is a safe space to be able to do that. We have had virtual workshops, which will be like a 5-day workshop. We've had in-person workshops and events where we come together and we absolutely have a conversation and talk about how to prioritize yourself. We have the Prioritize Me workshops. We have Me Prioritizing Me events and the Not Your Journey to Take coaching program. Hold on. I wanted to show it to you. We have so many websites. Okay, the system is moving slower than I had planned. So we'll do a better job of showing it next week.
Once we wrap up the boundaries.
Yes, once we wrap up the boundaries, we'll come back to this. I'm going to remove that, and we are back. So, Miss April, is there anything that you want to leave the folks with, like a saying, anything?
When thinking about your boundaries, finding your key happy place is a great place to begin, and asking yourself, if you don't do it, if you don't participate, if you don't accept the drama, if you don't interact with it, will they move on? Will it stop? Will they stop? Or will they find somebody else to give the drama to? Or will they find somebody else to deal with stress out? If the answer is yes, they will, then you don't do it. You stop. Set your boundary for your peace of mind. Your peace is more important than their peace. Be the hero in your story.
Absolutely. I love that. Be the hero in your story. And I love the fact that Miss April always says, will the world stop just because you don't show up for the people, because you don't show up for that person? And the answer is absolutely not. And then the next question was, are they going to find somebody else to do all the things? Yes, they will. If you say no, they will find another person to do all the things that they need. So don't ever let a person make you feel like you are the end all, say all, and they can't get to the next person, because what you want, somebody else will do. Believe that. And so as we sign out, like I said, every time I am signing off on any live or any platform that I am on, have a super fantastic day on purpose, and in everything that you do, do it out of love and kindness. We'll talk soon.
It's not your journey to take. It's not your journey to take. It's not your journey to take. Let's learn.